Hello, this is week 4 of the Wim Hof. We've got another day of this week of energy management before we go through to the next one. Don't know what it is yet, but I just want to talk about a breakthrough that I had today, like a proper physical breakthrough. And it's something that's happened with the cold showers this week because we just moved into a new house. Because we look after people's pets whilst they're on holiday. This house doesn't have a water tank. The water just comes straight up from the mains, and it is cold. So it's really good for practicing. So that's what we've been doing. Stepped it up for the past week, and I've noticed. The interesting thing is that I've noticed a difference in my everyday life. I can relate it to my progress with these cold showers, so I'm pretty happy. My energy levels have kind of gone through the roof as well, which is fantastic. I'm kind of holding on a little bit, like whoa, kind of really like a bit, kind of hyper. Obviously, I know that's gonna, I'll learn to manage that, but it's certainly something's kind of. All this oxygen that I'm bringing into the system's definitely doing its thing, and I'm fizzing. Literally, I can feel my, I can feel all I would say I can feel my cells kind of moving, but I don't think I've got that level of sensitivity yet. But certainly, my whole body is shaking up, and it does feel a lot more vibrant. I'm just trying to use the right words, to kind of get my point across. But I definitely feel more vibrant to the point where I am, I'm buzzing, and I'm pretty happy. With that, it's kind of making me happy, and which is also allowing me to. It seems like everything's going well, and it's easier, probably with that combo. Like maybe I'm in a sweet spot at the moment. I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm paying attention to, what elements are involved with that. Ones I can control and ones I can't, and kind of going along with it. So very appreciative of current moment. So that's a good thing, isn't it? This threshold with the showers. So basically, I did a previous video just saying about how go with the cold shower straight on the chest to start with, like kind of catch my breath, let that get used to that, and then kind of a bit of a rubbing around kind of helps, and then over to the shoulder, over to the other shoulder, and then have it on the back, and then kind of step under the shower and slowly go up the back of the neck and to the head. And beginning of the week it was like get just on the base of the skull, back of the head, and it was like the ice cream headache, like really feel it contracting, and then and it was like, right, that's stop there, because what you don't want is a blowout. I'm aware of that. Like maybe that's something people aren't aware of. I am very aware of the tiny steps of progress, rather than blowing the fuses and kind of getting ill or just losing the plot, or just kind of getting really down and not wanting to do it anymore. So keeping just that little bit of progress. And over this week I've done that. And it's culminated in just getting out of the shower now, and I basically stood with the cold tap on my head, just running under the water. Maybe more than 4 minutes. Who knows? I would say 5. I'd say 5 minutes. No, I don't know. I haven't got a time in the shower, but I've got a bloody waterproof watch. I can use that. These silly iPhones. I've got a waterproof watch. Right. Anyway, so I'll be able to tell you next time how long it's been. Felt like 5 minutes, but modestly probably 4 minutes. Oh, this video is 4 minutes long. How about that? Right. So it won't be. Trust me, it's going to carry on. The threshold every day, just slightly more. The breath, like the focusing of the breath, is massive. And one thing that always rings in my head is that Wim has talked about like the mercilessness of the cold, and it's like you have to face it. If you're facing it, you have to face it. Obviously you can avoid it, you can wrap up in clothing and avoid cold situations, but there is that in terms of something to use as a practice or a development tool, the cold is like, it's such a constant. It's incredible. So you can really press into your thresholds, and this is, you know, where I had this breakthrough. I was literally one of this week, one of the biggest ones was this. Well, the past couple of days, I've been more grounded when I've been standing in the shower, and it feels like I've got like heavy hands and heavy feet, and almost there's this kind of flow going down into the ground, a real kind of grounding flow, and so that was kind of like, right, there's a technique, you know, hold that. Felt like a lot more of my weight was going into my spine rather than into the front of the body. Felt really solid standing there. Was able to breathe. Like, controlling the breath is a big part of kind of not freaking out and kind of holding on to something. And this morning, that I really felt like there was. I mean, this is the thing. In the shower, I'm standing up in the shower. You know, like if I fell over, if I lost my balance, or you know, I kind of went dizzy in the head, then I'm in a quite dangerous position. So I have to be like, got to be aware of that, and I think that's actually really helping. It's kind of keeping me very sensible about how far I push. And today, this morning, and then this evening, I was able to really get some progress. This morning was a kind of like standing afterwards, and when I turned that cold water off and I realised it's you know, I kind of pushed my comfort zone as much as I'm happy to, without losing the plot. I turned the tap off and I just stand there, and it's just kind of being, you know, just kind of being able to stay with it. Like I think if I was to get up and move, then maybe I would, you know, I'd kind of fall all over the place. But just standing and grounding and getting used to being kind of, you know, stood up without the affront of the cold on, and it's really energizing and invigorating, obviously. And then this evening, just to go that one next level of just, because up until today, there's always been a point where I've said, okay, that's too much, I can't fully go under it. And today, you know, tonight, it was actually, there was a point where I was like, oh, I've been under here for too long, like, as in maybe I should just. It almost felt like nothing more was happening. I kind of plateaued, and I was like, right, that's enough for today. You know, I'm not going to push it any further. But I was already further than I'd been before, and that was incredible. So that's all well and good. That's the practice side of it. What I've noticed this week at work, especially, is that I'm not my flustering point. That point where I kind of go, huh, like you know, or like, you know, my stress levels start rising just because of maybe, you know, something to do with the project that I'm working on is, you know, not going right, or I've realised there's some extra work to do, or blah blah blah. I've realised that my flustering point is nowhere near what it used to be. Like, so there is this base level, and obviously I'm going to pay attention to you know, where that's come from, because obviously it's not just this, but that base level of me getting flustered is definitely different. I'm just calmer, but I've got more energy. It's like that double. It's like more energy and calmer. Like how does that? Ooh, that's kind of like, you know, the opposites together, like the yin yang, the completeness. So I'm really happy about that, and that's why I jumped out of the shower and made this video. So yeah, that's alright, isn't it? I'll speak to you in a bit.